gonna hit record on this computer and hope that it works. Okay, it looks like it's working. Um, I guess I'll go ahead and get started. I'm freaking out, guys. I'm so nervous. So if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask them. First off, I see Dara's here. Dara, thank you so much for letting me host this call.
You're the silliest, of course. I'm sorry I was late. My computer was acting so slow. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I literally just hopped on too. So I was like printing out my notes. I have so many notes just because I'm so nervous.
Time.
Thank you.
Actually, do you want me to press record or can you?
Oh, is it not recording? I thought I hit it. It says pause. Maybe you should do it because I'm going to mess it up.
It is recording. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just
good.
ignore me completely.
Okay. So first off, I never thought I'd be hosting one of these calls, and I'm really excited, and I really appreciate all of your guys' time so much. I'll tell you now, I feel a little inadequate being on a call with a lot of you because I look up to so many of you guys, and I know that I don't have all of the answers. So I'm not a top coach. I look at you guys and I think, oh my gosh, like, how am I here doing a team call? But I really appreciate the opportunity. I can tell you guys I know that it's, I get to do it because I hit Success Club 50 in June. So I can tell you guys a little bit about what I did, and I hope that it helps you all. First off, how I became a coach. So I joined a challenge group in January, and I did not start as a business builder. I joined a challenge group because I honestly was just fed up with how I felt. I have an overeating problem. I binge eat a lot, and I was just sick of my bad habits. I was fed up with the way I felt. I had an unhealthy lifestyle. So I turned to the challenge group, and I was all in. I started seeing results within the first couple of weeks. And then once I was in a smaller pant size, I couldn't help but share what Beachbody had done for me. So that's where it started for me. I believe that a lot of this business is about confidence and belief, and that can be hard to teach. For me, my belief and my confidence comes from the basics. It comes from the programs, the Shakeology, the accountability groups, how amazing I feel. I honestly look at it as, how can I not share this? How can I not tell people what this is doing for me? I have found freedom in these programs, and I know that there are so many other women out there who felt like I did in January, who felt trapped and just had no idea how to escape it. And so I feel like I just need to tell everyone about it. So bottom line, my conviction and my belief just comes from something very simple, just knowing that this works, and knowing that it can help other people. You know, I feel like this stuff is so basic. You guys are probably going to be like, oh, we've heard all this before, but it's true. You know, with Beachbody, it's a lifestyle change. It's sustainable. It's not frustrating. It's not deprivation. I've never found anything like this before. And so I really have no qualms about sharing it. I don't really mind the messaging. I don't really mind posting about it because I know, yeah, maybe some people might get annoyed, but I know that if I can just help one more person, if I can just help change one person's life, that it's worth it. So going back to June and Success Club 50, I don't really remember. It started before I had the drive for Success Club 50. I don't really remember what the catalyst was, but I remember I went back into the Team TNT, and on May 28th, I posted in the page that I was going to send out 150 invites by Memorial Day. That was my goal, and I did it. And I don't exactly remember the motivation for it. I think I'd heard that summer, I've only been coaching since March. So I heard that summer months are tough. So I knew that I had to set myself up for success for summer, even just Success Club 10. I knew I had to do that early. So out of the 150 I sent, I got 7 people to sign up on June 1st. So I was already at Success Club 14 at day 1. I was feeling pretty good about that. And then I remember when later in the month, I remember Veronica from Lindsay Matway's team, she won the Success Club trip for May. with 52 Success Club points. And I noticed that the third place winner had won with 50 Success Club points. And I remember thinking, you know, how incredible is that? How is that even possible? And then I started thinking, you know, why not me? Like, these girls started kind of like I did. I'm sure that they struggled to hit, you know, Success Club 5, Success Club 10. And here they are hitting these huge numbers. Like, why can't I do that? So I just decided that, you know, I was going to take all the hard work from May and I was going to continue that in June. And I was just going to see what happened. I was going to see what was possible. And honestly, I really wanted that trip. I wanted to be able to be 3 months into my business and win the trip and use it to propel my business forward. And I knew that if it was going to happen, it was probably going to happen in June because I had already hit a really good Success Club number early on. So we were less than halfway through the month. I know that the products are incredible. I knew in my gut, I just felt like I could do it, but I also knew that it was going to take a ton of work, and it was grueling. I was exhausted all the time. But so here are some very practical, basic things I did, and some of them I guarantee you've heard before, and I hope that, I don't know, I hope it can help. So just a few of the basics. So I remember watching a training, and I can't remember who it was with, but she said, this is so simple, the happy birthday on Facebook. So Facebook will literally notify you when it's somebody's birthday. And so every day I try and hop on and I send them a message. That way they have a reason to respond to me and I just start creating that connection. It's very basic, but creating a connection is key in this business. So I just send them a happy birthday, and the whole year goes by. Eventually, you've talked to everyone on your friends list. So you must be showing good results and sharing your story. You have to be posting. People have to know what you're doing. It can't be just, oh, I drank my shake or I finished my workout. You have to dig deeper than that. What do the shakes do for you? For me, they keep me from binge eating. They keep me on track. And that's real life. And people relate to that. Women relate to that. They don't know how to escape that cycle. So I had a lot of great feedback from posts like that. From girls who wanted help with that. The working out, what is that doing for me? I have 2 kids at home. I work 2 full-time jobs from home besides Beachbody. So I'm working anywhere from 60 to 80 hours a week. I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have a whole lot of time to take care of myself, but these at-home workouts are what is doing it for me. The nutrition, so many people are afraid to dive into a nutrition plan like 21 Day Fix because they're afraid it's restrictive and that they're going to fail. So, I post what I'm eating. I post my recipes. I make people believe that they can do it too. I let them look at what I'm doing, and I build the belief and the confidence in the program. I build it up for them. So something else I do a lot of times is, I do have weaknesses with eating right, and I hate working out, and I'm very honest about all of that. I like to look at it as, I take my weakness and I flip it into a strength, because people really, I feel like they relate to your struggles if you're going to, so people, they really relate with your struggles. They don't want to see that it's all perfect all the time. They want to know that you're human too. So, let's see here. So creating connections. I spent my month messaging and posting on other people's posts all the time. I feel like I was on my phone all the time, but in this business, that's key. I was commenting on posts, I was adding value, I was being positive. For me though, they need to be genuine connections. If I'm not sincere, you can see right through me. So when you're talking to people, you have to meet them where they're at. And sometimes that means, for me, it meant several times stopping the Beachbody talk and meeting them where they were and just having a real conversation with them. And I met all of these amazing girls and women going through all of these incredible struggles in their lives. And I actually made a list, and to this day, I still follow up with them. And I just see how they're doing, and I let them know I'm thinking about them and that I'm praying for them. And I do that because I truly care about people, and I never want someone to think that I'm just out for the sale. I love people, and I want to invest in them further than a challenge pack and Success Club points. So people are what matter, and you need to make sure that they feel appreciated and valued, because if you're just at it because you need another sale, they're going to sense that. So be genuine when you're inviting and when you're talking to people, and love people and love their hearts. So the messaging and the inviting. Let me tell you, Success Club 50 did not come easily. People did not just come to me and say, oh, take my money. Like, I want to sign up for this. I want to do this. No, I had to work for this. I probably sent out I wish I would have kept track, but it had to have been 200 to 300 messages that month. And if you guys think about that, how many messages I sent out, and 25 people that month signed up. I mean, think about how discouraging that can be when you are just feel like you're working your butt off and, you know, nothing's coming of it. The people who did sign up with me, you know, a lot of times my messages weren't super special. I get asked all the time what my messages were. And, you know, it was something like, you know, hey, so-and-so, I was wondering if you'd be interested in an upcoming Beachbody challenge. I've gotten incredible results from the program. I love sharing it with other women. And then I would always try and add something personal. I would go through their profile and I would see something that spoke to me. And right now I'm getting a rejection. Somebody just messaged me a no. So I would see something that that I felt like I could relate to them, and I would just, hey, I saw your pictures from the beach. Like, we've been there before. We've been to that beach too. Or I saw your pictures from Disneyland. That way they would hopefully feel compelled to message me back, so that way I could create a genuine connection with them, aside from just the business part of my message. And, you know, I came off Memorial Day weekend. I told you guys that I sent out 150 invites that weekend. And I truly think that helped carry me through June. Bonnie Engel yesterday on her call, she talked about short bursts of massive action. And it's 100% true. Like, I feel like, you know, the no's, the silence, I feel like you can't get discouraged by that, because I really, truly believe that later those messages that you sent out early on are really going to come back and help you the next couple months. So you cannot let yourself get discouraged with that. Something else I learned was not discriminating who I invited. People who I messaged who I thought would never be interested in something like this signed up for me. People who I thought were 100% on board did not sign up with me. And they, you know, my two best friends, like, they told me, yes, like, we'll do this for you. We know you're trying to hit this goal. My mom, I asked her, I said, will you do this for me? And she said, no, I don't really want the product. And I'm thinking, well, you're my mom, you know, I'm trying to hit this goal. So, you know, that was crushing, but I had to look past it, because if I let myself just sit there and dwell on that negative, then I was not going to hit my goal. So I sat down, I sent out 20 more messages. Sometimes I always start out with people who I feel like are kind of watching, who are liking my posts, or who I feel like are kind of following. Sometimes it would be as desperate, or whatever you want to call it, as, you know, I would type in my friends list like Sarah, and all the Sarahs would come up. And I would message all the Sarahs at once. You know, I was going back last night and I was looking at how many no's I had and how many people didn't respond. And even looking back, it feels discouraging. But truly knowing how this program has changed my life, I feel like it's not personal. They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to the gym. They're saying that they're not ready, or that they need to watch you and trust you more. So do not get discouraged by those no's. Let's see here. One thing I did too was I ran a promotion. I wasn't super public with it. This was something that I asked Holly about, and she said, yeah, like on her tough months, she would do this. Friends and family and people in my neighborhood, I would offer to PayPal or Venmo them $20 back of their challenge pack. So And even then, like even $140 for that challenge pack, they didn't want it. So I will tell you guys that did not even get me very far. I had to hustle even harder. I couldn't believe it that even with that they weren't interested. Um, and I know that it's just people telling me that they're not ready. And honestly, I'm the type of person that I don't want you to sign up with me unless you are 100% ready. I don't I don't want you to be in my group unless you are ready to make the change and ready to make it happen for you. So I had to turn a lot of that negative, the no's and the silences, and I had to look at it in a positive light, like, okay, they need maybe later or they're not ready. And so that's okay. I don't want them anyways until they are ready. So I feel like everyone needs health and fitness in their life. Everyone struggles with something, whether it's nutrition or working out. Invite them, even if you don't know them. You're on their radar now, and have massive action in your inviting. To this day, I am still coasting off all the work I did in May and June. I had a girl message me today who I talked to in June, and she messaged me out of the blue and said, hey, I remember you reached out about this and I wasn't ready. And she's ready now. I had a girl who signed up over the weekend, same thing. In June, I tried to get her to sign up with me, and she was not interested, but she's signed up now and she's in a current challenge group. So all of that work that I put into May and June is paying off now. So do not let the no's get you discouraged. You have to see the benefits and the potentials in the no's. Let's see. If you want to hit even Success Club, sometimes I have to step out of my comfort zone, and I have to, messaging always isn't always super comfortable for me. It is for the most part, but so I message, even if I sent out 50 messages and I only got one back, I looked at that as, okay, well, that's 2 Success Club points. Maybe 49 no's, but it's 2 Success Club points. It's $50 in my pocket, and it's another girl's life that I hopefully get to change through a challenge group. So had I dwelled on that rejection, I would have never hit my goal. I had to keep going. There were days where I didn't know if anyone cared or if anyone was watching. There were days that the no's would hit especially hard. I would say, this isn't going to happen for me. This isn't working. I'm working my butt off and nothing's coming through. There were moments I thought I was going to fail, but I had a goal and I could see it. And I felt in my gut that I could do it. I just had to work harder. Some days were really hard because I would look at that big picture of the 50 and get really discouraged because it was such a big goal. But then I would have to step back and look at what I can control. I would set small goals for myself, even if it was something as simple as, okay, well, today I'm going to send 30 invites out. And I'm going to follow, or, another day I'm going to follow up with 20 people. I mean, it's the small achievable goals, the things I could control and the things that were manageable that ultimately led me to success with my larger goal that month. These small achievable goals that you set for yourself, that's going to be how you build belief in yourself. That's where success is going to come from. It's going to give you the confidence to keep going forward. You guys know this business is not easy. One day you can feel amazing and like, this is the best business ever. And it could be a few hours later and you're like, oh, this is discouraging and this is never going to happen for me. There are so many ups and downs. And when you get down, it's easy to know what you need to do. It can seem so simple, like, okay, this is what I need to do. I need to take action, but it takes more than what you know you need to do. It takes actually acting on it. It takes visualizing your goal and full throttle going for it, decide what you want and push for it. I will say that month, it just wrecked me. Like I was exhausted, you guys. It was hard work. I feel like I was on my phone all the time. I feel like I drove my family nuts, my husband, my kids. It took time away from them. A lot of that was probably my fault. I probably need to be a little bit better at time management. So if I decide to do it again, which I'm thinking about it because I still really want that trip, if I decide to do it again, I'm going to have to find some more balance for sure. But I definitely believe I can do it. Personal development also is huge, guys. Like there would be days where I would just say, that's it. This is done. This is not going to happen. And Holly sent me Get Over Your Damn Self. And I would read like even 2 pages of that and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so pumped. I'm on top of the world again. And I would go again. So, I mean, you guys heard me say, I work 60 to 80 hours from home. I've got 2 kids here at home. My child has homework every night. Like I do this business. I'm in the thick of it with you guys. I find the time to do it because this is what I really want. I love it. It's good for me. It's good for myself. I love the feedback from the girls that are in my challenge groups. In the end, I did not win the Success Club trip, as you guys might have heard. I know that the 3rd place winner from that month got like, I think 65 Success Club points. So 50, 65, I was kind of glad I was blown out of the water because I probably would have been a little bit heartbroken had I been super close. But I mean, it came down to literally, it was 10:50 at night on June 30th, and I was messaging. And this girl finally decided that she wanted to do it. I mean, we had to get her switched to me first before she could buy the challenge pack. It was total chaos, but I knew I wanted it, and so I worked for it. So set attainable goals, have conviction and belief in your invites and your posts. Go back to your why and really dig at what this has done for you. If you're messaging, I know I get a lot of comments that, you know, I am messaging a lot of people, but it's not coming back. You know, you have to go back to your why. You have to really dig at what this has done for you. People can see through your invites. You have to make sure that, you know, you're laying it all out there. You're showing your heart. You're showing your belief in the program. And even in my messages, I know they say a lot of times to not say like, hey, I'm going to invite you to my Beachbody group, because I've heard that sounds salesy. I, for one, have no problem saying Beachbody group because this is what's worked for me. Why wouldn't I be upfront about that? I have confidence in the program, and I think that that really shows through my invites. Know your weaknesses and turn them into strengths, and post about them and be honest with your followers. Have self-belief. I don't believe that means, you know, that you're arrogant. It just means that you visualize a goal. You're not going to let your setbacks set you back. You're going to carry on despite the odds. You have to have a winner's mindset. You have to realize that the success is in your hands. Everything you do or don't do now is going to define your success down the road. Even now, even this month, I'm struggling a little bit to hit Success Club 20. And you know what? I've taken a huge step back the past 2 months because I was so exhausted from June. But it's honest, it's showing a little bit because I am struggling to hit that 20 this month. So even me, like I need this call. Like I need this reminder that this is all in my hands and I can control it. I just have to be willing to work for it. So yeah, it takes conviction, takes work ethic. Does anyone have any questions? I feel like I went on for a really long time, and I hope that that was helpful.
It was totally helpful. You didn't go on that long. It's only been 25 minutes. I told her to keep it under 30, so she did good. Something you said, Whitney, and you kind of brushed over it, which I understand because you had a lot you wanted to cover, but she said that your invites and connections have to be backed up by what you're sharing on social media. Those connections and invites aren't going to get you anywhere. Beachbody's probably not just going to naturally and organically come up in the conversation if you haven't been sharing your journey, your life. And that doesn't just mean a sweaty selfie every day. You've got to be sharing your heart. You've got to be vulnerable. Like Whitney said, you have to make people want to know you, even though you're a Beachbody coach. I can't tell you how many times someone says, you're like the only Beachbody coach I haven't unfollowed, you know?
Yeah.
Be the Beachbody coach that they're not unfollowing because you're just sharing good stuff. And then when you make those connections, then when you send out those invites, it's being backed up by your social media content. So I really loved that point, Whitney. And She said, set those goals of, I'm going to send out 20 invites. I'm going to send out 20 follow-ups. Whatever the numbers are, I don't care. But it's the action steps that matter, not the result. And I know that feels, when you're sitting at, below your goal, you're like, no, it's the results that matter, Dara. But it's not, because taking those actions that is what's going to increase your confidence. Whether you get yeses or nos really isn't going to change your confidence. It's just taking the steps and inviting and connecting and posting and doing the process. That is, like she said, the only part you can control. It is in your control. And then you just have to trust the rest. I have a very similar story. I felt like I was having a really good first half of the month. I was putting good posts and having great conversations, and people kept saying no. And I kept getting a lot of interest, and people kept saying no. And it felt really discouraging. I don't like to not be at, a certain number by a certain, first half of the month. The point is, all of those people are coming, not even the same people, but I have more people. The point is I trusted the process, and now, like, the second half of the month has been way better results wise. The people are coming around, new people are coming, the process is paying off. So do the actions, set those goals, because that is what will build your confidence. I'm reading the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. And she's talking about that, how it doesn't matter what the result is. It's the fact that you took the step. It's the fact that you chose courage in that moment and chose to move and do something to make your life better. That's what builds confidence.
Yeah. I know, I saw you on the board and I was so happy for you because I know what that's like. And then, like, to finish the end of the month strong, it's a really great feeling.
It is. It is. Did anyone else have any questions, or just something she said that you really, was like, oh, I really liked that, or?
Thank you, Melissa.
Whitney,
I just heard what you said. The only thing I have to resonate with is the conversation thing. To me, it's the same thing. I have to make a shit ton of connections in the beginning, and now I'm getting like replies like, okay, hi, yeah, you're still my friend. Oh, we're talking about recipes, and pretty much that. Like, I haven't done cold market invites like that.
Yeah.
Or like just straight out, let's talk about Beachbody. I have done a lot of, hey, let's be friends. Let's get to know each other.
Really gonna pay off, because that's very genuine, and people love that, and they're gonna remember that from you.
Yeah, so I appreciate saying that, because I'm having a tough month, even though I hit the 6 out of 10. To me, it's a
great
tough
job.
month.
I feel like it's been a tough month too. I mean, I know that I haven't put in as much work as I have the past 2 months, but I do feel like it's been slower. I don't know what it is. Hopefully September's a little better with all the kids going back to school, but I agree with you. I feel like it's been tough.
Well, Whitney, I think you did a great job. Oh, by the way, I've never hit Success Club 50. I've been in the business 3.5 years, and I've never had that many Success Club points. So you are more than adequate to speak on this call.
Well, thank you.
And so I guess we will say goodnight. And thank you for being on and taking time out of your schedule. I know for me, this time after the kids go to bed is just precious. So the fact that you're here and choosing to be here just says so much about how seriously you're taking this business. Whitney, thank you again. You did amazing. We're so proud of you, so proud that you're part of our team. And I loved seeing these faces. And good night.
Good night. Thank you, guys. All right, I just hit stop recording, right?
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay.